If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Welcome back to Talkin' Shit, where we are talking all sorts of shit. Schitt's Creek, that is. I'm Jess Sterling, and today we are talking about the series finale of Schitt's Creek called Happy Ending. That's right, you heard me correctly. The finale. And of course, I am not alone. As always, I am joined by someone who knows his florist. Stuart! Stuart, how are you?
I don't think you understand. I know my florist. He's amazing, right?
Yeah. She comes out, she has like a really good one-liners. Like if we had, we often will give the, the MVPs, LVPs to really like main characters. If we had a sub, and we're not doing this now, obviously it's over. But
let's go back to the beginning. Let's start again.
If we were giving points out for side characters specifically, I feel like Ronnie would get a lot of them just for her like one-liners throughout the show.
Yeah. I think I was making cases really early on for like trying to give Ronnie the points all the time because I just adored Ronnie's like sass and just level of just I don't give an absolute F about anything here. Ronnie would get a ton of points. Ronnie's hilarious.
I love her. Well, this is it, Stuart. We're here. We are at the finale. We are at the series finale somehow. I don't really know how we arrived here. I don't know how this has flown by so quickly.
Time.
Yeah. And now there's no risk of you ever being spoiled on the show again.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I can use the internet absolutely freely once more. Oh, it's a great place, right? Oh wait, yeah, it's definitely the probably best actually to avoid it if I'm honest. Yeah, it's a joy to be able to actually look up all the extra stuff that there is to do with this show. Funnily enough, anything associated with this show tends to be a safe space when it does come to the internet. So yeah, I feel confident in being able to do it. But it's just nice to know that I can just watch whatever comes up in the algorithm. I can enjoy being logged into the YouTube account where we upload these episodes and see the recommendations rather than just avoiding them and just like kind of blindly clicking, hoping that I don't get spoiled. It's reassuring, but it's also really sad. I didn't think we'd actually it's one of those things when we started this, we're like, oh god, that's ages away. We're going to be doing this until October of 2025. What? That's forever in the future. And now we're here. And we're older, and I don't like it. I don't like the passage of time. Stop it. Stop it, whoever's listening.
Yeah, we're finally here. And the only thing I was really nervous about you finding out about in this finale ahead of time was Moira's outfit, which of course we're going to talk about in the Wig Watch. Mm-hmm. But were you spoiled at all on her look for the wedding? Because
I think I've seen it. Yeah. Like I think I'd seen the outfit. Like when I saw it in the episode, I kind of went like that, but it wasn't front of mind. Like I wasn't thinking that's the outfit I've got to look forward to. So it still came as a bit of a surprise. But I think it's one of those iconic images that I've probably seen on like t-shirt prints or something like that when looking for merchandise that I shouldn't have been looking for because I really wanted the Schitt's Creek mug and understandably couldn't find one that was quite to my taste. So
shocking, really. Yeah.
Right.
But I do think this finale is largely celebrated, at least in the spheres we're in. I
Hmm.
am trying to recall to give some background. I talked a little bit about this at the end of the last podcast, of when this episode aired. We were in the height of COVID. I'm talking like May 2020, baby. Like we were a few months
Ooh.
into lockdown. I was going through a very rough time mentally. I remember like really just bottoming out at that time, and so this could not have come at a more ideal time. Also because I had most recently gotten my husband into Schitt's Creek, so the final season I believe we watched together. I think prior to that I rewatched everything with him to get to the point where he could watch along with the show as it was airing. And another interesting kind of relevant detail here is that I also was planning on getting married in 2020. So a
Wow.
lot of this sort of stuff related to me personally, with the need to shift things last minute for a wedding because of unforeseen circumstances. In this case, in David and Patrick's case, a very large storm. In my case, a global epidemic. And so I related to them a lot. And I found that this show is something that really brought me joy in like a very, very difficult time. Both
Hmm.
because it is so heartwarming and so funny and just is very lighthearted with everything and deep when it needs to be. And so yeah, I think this finale, I don't know that there was much they could have done for me to not enjoy it, but even watching it now, I've watched it like 3 times this week already, and like I still love it. I still really love it. I think there's almost nothing they do wrong. We'll talk about one storyline in particular that I think is a little polarizing. I think some people don't really care for it. But I want to know, grand scheme, Stuart, what did you think of the episode?
I liked it. I have a quibble with one thing, and I don't think it's the thing that you're going to talk about. This the polarizing plot line. I think I know which one you're talking about there because I certainly have had Will's opinion on it, and so I know
Yeah.
that Will has a particular take on it, which we'll get into. But yeah, I have a slight quibble with I don't know. We'll get into it, but yeah, I have a slight little thing. I don't think it was necessarily a full 10 out of 10. I think
Okay.
there was still a bit of juice to be squeezed. However, to stick a landing on a finale episode of a series is such a rarity. I saw a TikTok video earlier where it was like Game of Thrones, Dexter, Dexter again, like all these different shows that have
Yeah.
half decent kind of like approaches towards the end, and then the finale just shits the bed. And they get like 4 out of 10s on IMDb, and everyone just loses their mind because there's no way of truly appeasing everyone. This one sticks the landing and is probably one of the stronger episodes that we've had in the entire series. I don't think you can ask for more. I think it's impossible to have an absolutely perfect episode. There will always be things that people find issues with, but to have an overwhelming response of just love and joy and happiness at how you end a show, especially one where people are salivating for more, especially like you say, like this like was really rising in popularity at a time when people really needed it, and they could have made bank by having a seventh season because everyone would have been like, well, I mean, we were all practically locked up. We had
Yeah.
to watch it. Like,
Captive audience.
I would have probably watched it if it had been. But then
Yeah.
I don't know. I think people, um, for them to have chosen the elegant thing of just ending it on their own terms when the story kind of called for it, for not dragging it out and for it to end on a high, I think is such a rare thing, and has to be appreciated. And I think, yeah, the writing wise, the episode itself, solid episode. Like we often talk about the Big Venn diagram of all the different, like the sad feels, the plot progression, the warm fuzzies, the comedy. This had all four of those in spades. So yeah, I'm really high on this episode. So
Yeah.
hopefully I won't endure any wrath from actual fans who have been anticipating
No,
my reaction.
I think the thing is that something I always try to remember is the fact that this still is only like a 20-something minute episode. It's not, they
Yeah.
didn't supersize it. There's a lot to squeeze in to a small amount of time. And I think
Hmm.
they use that time really wisely. I don't have many quibbles with this finale. I think it's really lovely. It's like a culmination of everything these characters have gone through, and we'll talk about kind of like the landing point for a lot of these characters and their journeys, and I'm sure we'll kind of get into that a little bit more in detail in our series wrap up. But yeah, just noting here, this episode in particular won 3 Emmys for outstanding contemporary costumes, outstanding writing for a comedy series, and outstanding directing for a comedy series. I remember them winning those Emmys and being so
Hmm.
happy. It's so rare that like a true sitcom comedy, I'm not talking about The Bear, which is a in quotes comedy, like a true sitcom comedy wins these sorts of awards and is like so praised for the work they did. And again, like I think you couldn't pick better options of like costuming, writing, and directing. Like 10 out of 10, beautiful. It's also Dan Levy's favorite episode of the whole series. And most notably on IMDb, it is the highest rated episode of the entire series. Now, I don't think that if I'm going to, my favorite episode of Schitt's Creek, this isn't the episode, but I totally get it from like a heartstrings sort of a thing,
Hmm.
the putting the period at the end of the sentence. I understand it from that aspect. So just some stuff to note about this episode and kind of how it was received. I think it came at a time when people really needed it. And I do think that, at least for me, that impacts my viewing of it. No matter how many
Hmm.
times I watch it, I will remember where I was, how I was feeling, and then how I felt after this episode. This episode healed me in a little bit of a way. Like it healed a tiny, tiny part of me for at least that day. And
Well,
that is something.
I feel like it's certainly healing, but it does so in a way of like you have to break yourself to heal properly. Like it's the
Yeah.
kind of thing we've got to cauterize a wound in a way. Like you've got to endure some pain
Yeah.
because this was for last episode in particular really kind of like got me. Again, it like really resonated with stuff that I'm going through with at the moment, and then this episode again had its moments where I was just set off immediately. Waterworks were going, and I was just there, just like that. Was it the Zoe Deschanel gif from? I think it's
Oh,
like
yes.
whatever, and
New
she's
Girl?
just sobbing with yeah. I was full on that, just like
Inconsolable, yeah.
exactly, and you come out of it, and you're just like there, just beaming for like grinning from ear to ear because it's like I'm
Yeah.
just so happy for them and like and especially the upbeat moments like where David like says lovely things to Alexis and where Alexis is really sweet with Moira and Moira
Yeah.
it lands so much better because we've been through the sads of it and this it ends with a bit of a celebration and that's I think a great way to do it. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, without further ado, let's do our little recap at the top here. It's the finale, so let's get into it. It is David and Patrick's wedding day, but a storm has rolled into town, causing the wedding party to have to shift plans to an indoor wedding, which David thinks are kind of tacky. And like, I get it, David. Okay, I get it. Naturally, David is flipping out, but Patrick came in clutch with the massage appointment while he, Johnny, and the rest of the town figure out a new location for the wedding. Patrick unintentionally implies to the masseuse that David wants to be given a happy ending, which David indeed gets. No worries though, this won't derail the wedding. It's not going to ruin the big day. We're moving on. Meanwhile, Alexis has purchased a wedding dress. She purchased a white dress that is definitely a wedding dress
Yeah.
to walk David down the aisle in, which is big time yikes. With the wedding moved to town hall, it kicks off with the Jazz rendition of Precious Love, and David walks down the aisle to Simply the Best. Moira balls through the entire ceremony with an insanely incredible outfit. David and Patrick's vows make everyone weep, and our guys tie the knot. The next morning, everyone says their goodbyes as Moira and Johnny are off to the West Coast, with many I love yous exchanged and one last look at the updated sign Roland arranged to have repainted. The roses are off to a bright future, and that's our finale episode.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Where are we going to start? The beginning?
I think we kind of have to, like, chronologically, I do think makes sense here. The
Yeah.
first thing I've noted to talk about is the Moira and Alexis chat they have pre-wedding when they're having to pivot, they're moving the wedding somewhere else. The officiant is not going to be able to make it. The haikuist will not be able to officiate. A haikuist is a choice for a wedding officiant.
The delivery of that outrage is just
Hmm.
the first thing that actually made me fully crack up. He's a
Hmm.
haikuist. Just the pitch that Dan Levy gets is
Yeah.
incredible. But also, so he rides a penny farthing. What the hell?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
used to
he's a
have someone
haikuist.
that lived locally to me that used to ride a penny farthing, and he used to hold up
Really?
traffic and everything. It was really, yeah,
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did.
yeah.
Uh, so Moira, because Johnny would not be able to get through it without being too emotional, Moira decides she will do it, as she, of course, officiated Pat Sajak's second wedding or something. She says, uh, so
Can
she's
I
going
buy
to
a
do it.
vowel? This show will often get so much praise for being a comedy. That is fucking gold. Like
Yeah.
purely one of the funniest lines that they've ever written of just a
Hmm.
joke that just
You
works on
ready
so
to
many levels.
spin the wheel of life?
But it's the fact that Johnny's the only one that finds it funny. Like no
Yeah.
one else does. And I was there cracking up. I was like,
Yeah.
me and you, Johnny, we get it.
So Moira is going to be the officiant. So she's busy trying to write the speech that she's going to give. And I really love this moment. We've talked a lot about how Moira and David are kind of like, not that Moira has favorites, but she does, and it's David. And her and Alexis sometimes have a bit of a strained relationship. I
Hmm.
feel like largely they've mended those fences and they've kind of figured out how to communicate with one another,
Yeah.
mostly through Alexis being PR manager for Moira. And I really love this moment where Alexis kind of just comes in and is realizing how soon it will be that she won't be able to just walk through the door and see her parents next door. And I love her saying, I'm almost glad that we lost the money, because there were times where I went over a year without even talking to you, and now you're right here. And it is so supremely sweet. Um, I'm happy that these are the characters they chose to give this moment to, because
Hmm.
Moira hasn't always been the warmest to Alexis, and because Alexis, I mean, they all were a bit money hungry, I suppose, but Alexis seemed like one of the most dependent in it, she was very Moira like in that way, where it was like she would talk a
Hmm.
lot about the fact that they didn't have money anymore. And for her to say that she's almost happy that that happened is so sweet. And I just love their little hug. And sir, I love this conversation. This is like the first moment that you probably would get weepy at is this conversation.
It was. This was the first proper bit that really set me off. I think Alexa saying that she was almost glad that they lost the money was a great way of following up on the sentiment that we got last episode with the conversation with Twyla and Alexis turning down the money. I think it really kind of underlines the point that Alexis has had the growth and realizing that money isn't everything and that there's so much more to value in life than money and all the fineries that come with it. I've kind of had some disappointment in Moira throughout the entire series with how I kind of wish that she would have had that same journey in a way. And I think that she has. It's just on a kind of, I don't even think she's quite aware of it. It's still very guarded. And there's so many walls up with Moira in terms of getting through to that. Even when Alexis is having this, trying to have a real heart to heart moment, Moira's there going, we wouldn't be the first hostage to fall in love with your captor. There's still those quips and everything to kind of guard up against it. But I think the sentiment is there. But I still kind of liked how Moira is staying true to that. She still is in the mindset of I gotta get out of it, because I think that while this place has been good for their family, I don't think it's been good for Moira as an individual. And Moira is an individual. She's a spotlight hog. She is the star. And so she needs brighter light to blossom under, spotlights, so to say. And so, of course, she really does crave everything elsewhere. It's not to say that she doesn't appreciate it all. It's because of the jazz of gals and all the connections that she's had, that some of these wonderful moments, the wedding ceremony itself, happens in the way it does. But it's Alexis that really kind of drives this scene through and is the one that really got like pulled at my heartstrings. The moment Alexis, you get the sense the way she's approaching Moira that this is how it's going to go and that she's in her feelings about it. I was like, I'm done with you. I'm sorry. This is the last time we're going to be here. And it's, oh, who would have thought it would have been Alexis at the beginning? Like, who really would have thought that?
Yeah.
Of all people, like David, I could have seen it, but not Alexis. I could have seen Alexis taking more of a Moira stance and being the one to change the least. And there's something I think to the dynamic of Annie Murphy being the one being brought into the cast as well, being the one to really kind of acknowledge how close they've become together. Because I kind of feel like, I mean, like Dan and Eugene, I mean, they have a familial connection already. I think Eugene and Catherine O'Hara, like they have that connection.
They're work partners. Yeah, they're work wife, work husband. Yeah.
Exactly. So the three of them have that kind of like pre-existing connection. And you've got Annie Murphy who comes in as a relative nobody,
brand new
before this show, brand new, and she's part of the family now. And I think it's just incredibly sweet to give her that moment as well to like kind of acknowledge it. That it really got me, and it was downhill from then on. Like I was crying through the happy ending, I was crying through everything after that.
Yeah, I think, and we'll talk about the last scene of the goodbyes and everything. I think you're right. Moira needs the spotlight. I don't think she will forget the lessons that she's learned while living here, and I do think certain things like the love and appreciation she has for her family, even some of the friendships, I don't think she'll forget those things. I think she was just already so established and set in her ways and had lived a small town life once upon a time. We talked about this like very early on.
Done that.
And she didn't want to do it again. Like she knows what she likes, and what she likes is the glitz and the glamour. And so I appreciate that the show doesn't try to make her into a character that she isn't, while still having her experience those like small bits of growth and appreciation for her family at the very least, which we'll talk about the very end, because I feel like she has come so far from where she started with the goodbyes to the kids. So they have their little one-on-one. Then so David's freaking out. He goes to Patrick talking about how, what are we gonna do? We can't have the wedding outside anymore. Patrick is like, don't you worry about it. I got this. I'm gonna go talk to your dad. We're gonna figure out a new location, and I booked you a massage. And David's like, oh my gosh, how did you get someone on short notice? It's like, well, I'm smart, and I had this booked for weeks now, baby. But Patrick, my guy Patrick, he leaves an envelope full of cash.
An envelope of cash?
Yeah, an envelope
Red
of
flag
cash.
immediately.
Saying, take good care of him. David's getting massage, and it turns into something more. Here's the thing.
Such a delicate way of saying he got handy.
Yeah, it turns into something more. Now, this is the thing that I think some people are not a huge fan of, and by some people, I do mean my husband, because every time we've watched this episode, and I'm pretty sure he's watched it with me 2 or 3 of the times that I watched it this week, every time we get to this scene, and I just, the audible groans that come out of him, I just like, he can't contain himself. He hates this storyline. He hates it so much. I don't personally, I'm a little bit more on the unbothered side. Like, I understand how it's annoying, especially nowadays in terms of consent and like all of that stuff. It especially feels kind of icky. But like, I also don't take it super seriously. I think this is something that is happening between David and Patrick, who are much more like, they were gonna go to Jake's house and like get involved with Jake. Like,
that's exactly my thoughts.
You know,
I feel like the door is ajar, not fully open, kind of thing.
Cracked open a hair,
Yeah, and like it was almost like David went into it thinking that this was what Patrick had signed up for, and David in the moment didn't explicitly give consent. I guess what we call in the whole like property philosophy of like gave tacit consent, of like just went along with it, which isn't proper consent, we will just say. But did
Yeah, and
go
the
along
note
with it and
didn't
seemed
say
to enjoy it.
give my fiance a happy ending. Like the note didn't say
You
that
can't
either.
just write that, Jess. You end up
So
getting arrested if you put that like to
what
paper, surely.
what I do love beyond the fact that this happens, right? That this is a plot point in this episode. What I will say I love is that this is not this like, are they even going to get married now? Like this is just doesn't turn into like balloon up into this huge issue between them. Patrick is like astonished and horrified. Stevie is gleeful because she gets to witness all of this. And David is trying to like calm Patrick down like, I'm sorry, like I thought you wanted me to. Like, but here's the thing. At least Patrick got what he was going for, which is David's chill, man. Everything's
Exactly.
cool, man.
Plus, I mean, it is a very interesting story that they'll get at the end of it. Like this is the funniest. Can you imagine, like, over a dinner party, 15 years time, Stevie comes over, Alexis and maybe the husband comes over. Everyone's back together for like a good dinner party. There are a couple of bottles of wine deep, and then all of a sudden this story comes out.
Because Stevie
Oh,
brings it up. Or Stevie at least pushes a button
absolutely.
or two that like makes it get brought up.
Stevie is constantly calling everything a happy ending.
Yes.
Casually giving like David a massage and like, okay, but we should probably end it there, right? Because I know what your history is like. I can see these kind of like just different scenarios happening. The headcanon for like the future of this whole dynamic is just so supremely funny. And I think it's worth it for that. And like you said, like he kind of got the results that he needed. David is super chill,
right. And again,
serene,
the consent
almost.
The consent was not there. It was not great. That whole aspect is not fun. Especially this came out in 2020. Like this is not 20 years ago where we can be like, oh, they didn't, whatever. But listen, Patrick now knows if David is going to be real stressed and anxious about something, little bit of a BJ. Good, he's good to go. He's feeling great, like he's fine. He's good.
No,
like
that's how you cultivate an anxiety disorder. If you give someone the Pavlovian response of just like, oh, feeling a bit anxious, get a BJ. I don't think that's a good thing to cultivate.
Yeah, it's very funny, but we do like move on from it fairly quickly because plans still need to be sorted out for the wedding, which is now going to be taking place at Town Hall. I love the coming together of the town. We have Johnny, Patrick, and Stevie kind of standing in front of a lot of our friendly faces, our local townsfolk, being like, we need ideas. And it's just so unhelpful. No, Jocelyn, no one wants your baby sprinkle decorations that are dusty for their wedding. Stop it.
Especially considering David provided those at last minute for free. We will also say outrageous.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ronnie is the one who really comes in clutch with the florist.
Ronnie really does. I will say though, Jocelyn's raincoat, best raincoat out of all of them. The little clear number with the little flowers, total Jocelyn. You see why this thing is winning Emmys for the costumes, because like that alone is
know what they're doing.
Perfection. Yeah. But like Ronnie with the knowing the florist comes in clutch
because flowers can make any place look a little bit more magical. Yeah. Flowers and candles, boom, done.
Exactly. And like all the photography, like all the pictures, hopefully gonna have like the blurry kind of backgrounds and stuff, and it'll just like a wash of flowers behind. No one's even gonna know it's a town hall. And even as it is, everything fully in focus, the town hall looked bloody good, I thought.
Yeah. Like, do we remember Friends? We remember Ross getting married to Emily at the building that got torn down. They just slapped a couple candles over there and they made it look nice. Like, it's fine. It's fine. And so
I've got a stupid thing about this. So I'm looking to run a D&D game that's very kind of horror themed at the moment for my home group. And I've been looking up venues because I was like, what if we ran like the opening session in a church or somewhere really gothic and something like that? So I was looking into places and I found the most rundown piece of shit looking church that people hire out for weddings for exactly that vibe. They fill it with flowers and the whole like awful aesthetic of this like rundown piece of shit place with a few flowers looks actually pretty kind of fashioned.
Yeah,
it's good photo shoots. So like anything can be done. I didn't book it in the end. It was way too
especially now that Johnny is like, money is no there's no obstacle. We can pay we have money. We can pay it. No worries.
And Jocelyn heard that.
The thing is, as someone who had a wedding and did not do flowers, we had a few things of mums because they were in season. And we had like soda wood flowers, so like fake flowers that were wood that we like dyed and all this other stuff. That's
Nice.
all we did. And because flowers, I was like, this is not in my budget. Like, I am not spending thousands of dollars on flowers for one day. It's just not happening. So I mean, he spent a pretty penny on these flowers. I could tell you that much with how many flowers there were.
Oh yeah, maybe
It's
with the
expensive.
last minute of it all, maybe they didn't tell the florist that it was for a wedding and therefore didn't get away with being absolutely
Hopefully.
robbed. Although flowers already are expensive, but
Expensive no matter
yeah,
what.
you get
Yeah.
the wedding tax, don't you? If you just say it's for a
Yeah.
wedding. Ugh.
Yeah. So we also get this little speech from Johnny when they're like setting everything up where I love Johnny so much this episode. He says, I'd like to thank you for all helping. I'd like to thank you all for helping to save my family over these past few years. I don't think we could have made it through without you all. It is like so
Save.
beautiful. I love him. He doesn't have to do this, you know what I mean? But he does. And that's why I love Johnny. He does it.
It wasn't even like for me. It's the word save. It's like it's not helping us. It's not even like just lending a hand. It's saving us because what it wasn't because he's not talking about like saving them from poverty. He's talking about like saving. He's talking about how they've come together as a family, how they come to appreciate everything. It's like he totally means it in a deeper level than just thanks for putting up with this kind of thing or putting us up.
Yeah.
It's thanks for being part of the journey that we've all been on. And yeah, of course, Johnny's the one to recognize that and to actually say thanks to the town because I mean, none of the other three would have. So it's like, oh, he's such a sweetheart. Oh,
yeah, he's the best.
again,
I love this.
How about Johnny in the beginning? Oh. This will be me for the rest of the pod.
So we then get David going to check in on Alexis because she's gonna be the one walking him down the aisle. So he's like, okay, according to the schedule, you're supposed to be dressed. Apparently, this wedding is black and white, which I love it. There is nothing more classy than like black and white. I think if you wanted to zhuzh it a little more, you'd black and white red. Like I feel like it's very classy. It's very elegant. What is that face it including red?
It's a bit, like cosplaying as a vampire kind of like vibe for me. I'm like, nah.
Okay. I like the black and white.
Black and white, perfect. But you do run this risk, right, of someone turning up in a white dress, which is the biggest faux pas.
Yeah, this is a big no-no. Like, and you should know that. Like, you should know how many weddings has Lex been? She's been to a lot. She has to have been to a lot of weddings. Yeah. You can't wear white to a wedding. You can wear, like, if it's a pattern and white is included, usually that's a thumbs up. Like, even like a cream, I still would say no to, but like maybe you could get away with it.
Yeah, avoid off-whites, creams, like
because the wedding dress could be that color.
Approach it. Just wear a color. Like, and if it's black and white themed, wear black.
Yes. But Alexis wears white. And it's a wedding dress. And he's like, did it come with a veil? She says, no, it came with a headdress. Why? Alexis, what are you doing?
She's the best. I love her so much.
Yeah, I love like then Stevie has to be on David's side because it's his day, and she's like, yeah, no, as long as you're not standing next together. Well, she's walking me down the aisle. I love Alexis finally agreeing, like, no, I think you're right, David. And he's like, obviously. Wait, about what?
Well, I think this is their sibling dynamics never going to change. We talk about like character progression, but it's nice to see David always be that sibling. It's just like, with what?
Yeah. He's like, well, obviously. And I love her being like, I wanted to impress you. Like, now I'm afraid I've ruined your day. And I love how he's like, girl, like, this isn't even the half of it. Like, a storm ruined my day. You just came in after the fact. Like, but he doesn't have to say this is the thing, right? Like, he could choose to be mad. He could choose to be upset that she's wearing white. They're about to go down the aisle and look like husband and wife. But instead, he says, for what it's worth, I'm continuously impressed by you, which is just like, why is the show stabbing me in the heart? Like, why is it doing this to me? It's so good.
It's the choice of words for me. It's not I'm impressed with your like how much you've changed and it having almost a sense of finality to her progression. I am continuously impressed by you in that she always exceeds his expectations, that she's done so much progression and she is continuing to do so and will continuously do so. It's such a wonderful compliment and it's so throwaway. Like it really is. And he didn't have to. He could have been an absolute diva for his own wedding and whinge about all of this. But it takes that moment to give Alexis the appreciation that she deserves and to take advantage of the fact that everyone's guards are down for the wedding. Like, you've got to be nice on the wedding, right? You get away with being a bit sentimental with
Yeah.
the family. They can't mock you that much for it. And yeah, it's supremely sweet. But then, like, to finish off with, now can you walk me down the aisle before people lose interest? It's just
So good. Yeah, because we
pulling
have
focus.
Patrick and his father are at the end of which is, I loved getting to see his dad. Like, it's very
Hmm.
sweet that his dad is this like best man, because there wasn't really talk of who would be Patrick's best man. So I love that his dad is the one who's there. And then we get to see Moira comes in her outfit. And I do think, like, we could probably just talk about it now because there is a second wig we'll have to talk about during Wig Watch.
Hmm.
Um this
Iconic.
ensemble, like like Pope realness, the wig that just touches her toes, the gold gloves, the hair that wraps around the headpiece. It is so, how did she have this? How did she have
Sublime. Sublime. Yeah, I don't know where this one has been in storage. Certainly wasn't hung up on the wall. Otherwise, we would have seen this
it would have touched the
trail
floor?
of resplendent blonde hair.
Mhm.
It's phenomenal. The little brim of the
Yeah.
papal hat. It's not a hat. I'm sure it's called something more formal. But like the
It's
little
Pope
thing of
hat.
hair, it's unreal and it's so unhinged in the best way possible. For once, I feel like the jewelry is actually quite understated for the outfit. I feel like she could have actually got a bit gaudier for it, but I think the gold
Yeah.
gloves absolutely round it out perfectly. The way she's even holding her hands, it's almost like a coronation in a way, like where they hold
Yes.
like the little scepter thing and the little orb. Like it's almost as if she's
Yeah, she's
carrying
about to
jewelry.
waft that smoke all over the place. Yeah. Incense?
Yeah,
Whatever it
wolf,
is.
wolf.
I don't know.
Exactly, yeah. It's just so iconic.
I think it's probably, in my opinion, it's up there for most iconic. It probably is the most iconic Moira look, but I personally just have a love and appreciation for the zip tie crown.
Oh
Mostly
yeah,
because it's made of zip ties, and I think that's like absolutely incredible. But yeah, it's iconic. It's how no one does it better. No one does it better than Moira Rose.
yeah.
I love her.
I just love that she had it there as a backup, like just in case she had to
Yeah, you
officiate.
never
Like,
know.
because this is the officiating outfit. This isn't the wedding outfit,
No,
surely.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, not that. I mean, maybe she'd made some alterations. You know, maybe the hair
Oh
already
yeah.
was going to be for the wedding, and
Was
like
she always wearing the hat though?
no, the hat has to be an addition. There's no way
Yeah.
she was gonna wear that as a
She's
guest.
just got that ready to go. I love
Yeah, she
it.
has it
I love
ready.
it. Just
Yeah.
how this works.
So
And
she comes
that's
in.
in sorry, and while
Yeah,
she's like being literally thrown out of her house and she's like grabbing whatever she can, she picked up that to bring with her.
yeah.
She's an icon.
Priorities.
There is there is nothing more iconic than Moira Rose, people. I think we need to just establish this. And if we didn't
Yeah.
know it already,
One
we
of a
know it
kind.
now. Moira Rose is a fucking icon, and I will not hear anything
Yeah.
otherwise.
She is a large reason when I've like pitched you probably and other people on the show, I largely said like the characters are so specific and individual, you will not find them anywhere else on television. And Moira Rose is the epitome of that. Like,
Hmm.
show me another character like her. It does not exist. And it's
Hmm.
because Catherine O'Hara, Dan Levy, Eugene Levy, like all the writing and the acting and the styling came together just so seamlessly and beautifully. You cannot create this character nowadays. This is Moira fucking Rose, okay? I love her so much. Uh, yeah.
I love
So
it.
she comes in. Then we have, oh my God, this part also got me. I can't explain. Johnny and Stevie walking in together, right? Like, because you're like, okay,
Stevie's
well, if
so
Alexis is coming in with David, well, then what's Johnny you know what I mean? What's Johnny doing? Because
Mhm.
usually, if father, walks down the aisle, and I love that it was those two, and I love that he like gives her a little kiss at the end, and it's like, oh, and the look on Moira's face too, and all of it is happening. I've watched this episode too many times already. I just like once you watch it so many times, you're like, what? I have to hone in on these like tiny details now. Oh my God, I love it so much. I love Stevie and Johnny's relationship. I love it
Yeah,
so much.
yeah. It's one of the best things about Johnny, I think, is the relationships that Johnny has built up while he's been in Schitt's Creek. Like, I love the fact that Johnny has such strong, like, branches out to all these different side characters. And Stevie is not one that I ever expected. But the moment those two kind of like latched onto each other as like a possible link, I was like, Christ, this works so well because there is almost like surrogate daughter relationship going on, but then there's also like
Mhm.
this sense of respect between the two of them because they're business partners. And then the whole thing that goes through with like the oh, the cabaret of everything, and then going through the success that they've had. And so for them two to walk down the aisle and share that hug at the end, I was just like, oh, it's really, that makes sense. That makes sense. I like this. And it's almost like with I feel like there is this like outdated trope of well, not trope, outdated thing of the father escorting the bride down and with that sense of
Giving her away
property
for the
ownership. Yeah,
dowry. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Like that is not a good fight. But with the fact that it's Alexis and David walking out after them, I kind of felt like this was Stevie being part of the family and her and Johnny walking down and almost then presenting those two in a way. And for that reason,
Yeah.
I thought that the choice of it was so elegant and really lovely.
Yeah.
And yeah, just the look that Moira gives Stevie is just adorable as well. Like there's that sense of pride, obviously, ever since Cabaret that's been there. And just the fact that Stevie is just a mess throughout most of this episode. I was like, I'm there with you, girl. I'm there with you.
Yeah. And the other thing to note is like when all of them are walking down the aisle, Precious Love is playing by,
Mm,
sung by the Jazzagals, which is so beautiful.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the best callback to the season 2 finale where the family, it's really just like a turning point, I think, for
yeah,
them. It is like very much a spot on the timeline of they're coming together, they're dancing together as a family. And I do think like it's like you're saying with it being Moira coming out and then Johnny and Stevie, like this is the family, not like, Sopranos way. But
yeah.
this is the family.
A
Uh
family.
yeah. So I love it, and I love that it's the Jazz Gals, and it's just like the sweet,
Yeah.
like acapella. It's so beautiful.
It's such a beautiful choice. And like you say, it's a really poignant moment when Precious Love is played in season two. Because
Mhm.
it's like I feel like that's the point where the show realized its really full potential, or at least communicated it that what they already knew as writers maybe, is that this show has the potential to really kind of hammer home a sense of growth and how close this family can become.
Mhm.
And I feel like the obvious like character growth journey is okay. Well, they've lost all their money. They regain the money, but they appreciate its value. Like that's the really kind of like I think dead simple, bottom of the barrel character progression they could get. And I don't
Mhm.
think I think at that point it kind of articulates, no, 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 there's heart that we can add into this. And to have that feeling re-evoked with the choice of the song and it being sung by the Jazz Gals as well is just supremely sweet. And I
Yeah.
thought that that would be it for the choice of music, utterly wrecking me. But no, they continue on.
Yeah,
So
they
good.
changed it up with Simply the Best when David walks down the aisle, and it is so sweet. Again, the callbacks on this show and just like the recognition of the important moments, specifically in David and Patrick's relationship. I love this, and I love that, like, Oh, it's so sweet them walking down the aisle and then Moira like immediately losing it. Like no
Mhm.
cool, no chill. Like she's supposed to be the stoic one and yeah, couldn't happen.
Yeah, this is the only thing I was going to say that could have been improved about Moira's outfit, and it's not really an outfit thing; it's a makeup choice. Waterproof mascara, come on, Moira!
Yeah, girl,
Like,
what you doing? I think
yeah,
I think she was confident. She was cocky.
oh
She was
yeah,
actually cocky about it.
oh,
She's like, okay,
100%. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's a
see, I
professional. She can get
on
through
my
this.
wedding day, I did wear waterproof mascara, and mostly because it's also like longer lasting, right, than like your typical.
Oh yeah.
But like this also gets me because I think it's very funny that I remember when we were getting married again. A reminder, we got married October of 2020, and it was uh uh, very difficult. We had been planning since the year before, so before the pandemic happened, it wasn't like the pandemic happened and then we're like, oh, we should get married. No, we were very dead set. We're not changing our wedding date. Like we don't care. We just want to get married. We don't want it to be. We
Hmm.
don't need it to be this huge thing. So it's very difficult, and mentally, it was a very very hard time. And I remember, like, I'm not, for those who know me, I'm not a crier. I generally don't cry at things, movies, TV. Like I cry when I'm like frustrated or like anything dog related happens, but like generally speaking, not a crier. And so I think I remember saying to Will, it's like, okay, maybe you should read your vows first because we thought there was a bigger chance he would cry. He would cry. And so maybe he should go first and then I'll go. But like at that point, there was so much emotionality leading up to the day of like the stress and the
Hmm.
planning and the like hoping everyone can make it that we had 10 people. Like there was just so much stress leading up to it, not about getting married, but about the world, like the state of the literal world.
Hmm.
Um and so I got maybe 2 lines into his vows before I was just full on sobbing. Like I was just I was gone. That was it. I was done. And he wasn't even saying anything in particular that like his vows were great, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't saying anything that was like intended to make me cry. It was just like the weight of that moment and like just
Hmm.
how far it felt like we had to go to get to where we wanted to be and like the obstacles that were in our way. So like I totally connect with Moira here where she just like it breaks her like her and I love that for her because I do think if you're someone who doesn't like I show emotion, I get mad, I get loud, I get whatever, but like if you don't cry in front of people very often, I do think there are people may assume that you don't have those feelings or like are holding them in or you're just like a cold person, and I
Hmm.
think Moira maybe gets that sometimes like she's
Yeah.
treated in that way, and so I love this for her. I love that she can't contain it and that she's just so happy. And the way I'm gonna let you talk, Stuart, but like I just need to say the whose lives were ostensibly brought together by the faded flap of a butterfly wing. Uh I just our lives are like little baby crows carried
Baby
upon a
crows.
curious wind. And all we can wish is for our families, for those who we love, is that the wind will eventually place us on solid ground. And I believe it's done that just that for my family here in this little town in the middle of nowhere. Oh!
It's
Okay,
what
now
I
you go.
wanted all series long. It's what I wanted, and she finally delivered it,
Yeah.
and she's sobbing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
yeah.
I ordinarily I would have said like too little, too late. No, no, no. That was just perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Moira hadn't have had that, I don't think I would have been down on it, but it was just it was such a cherry on top of everything in terms of like just having her finally articulate it properly and for it to be genuine. Like 'cause she said her goodbyes to everyone and like she said the things that you're meant to say at a goodbye, but like this I think really came from the heart, and she really does fully mean it. And by virtue of the fact that she's sobbing as she's saying it and barely getting the
And the fact
words
that she
out.
didn't plug her own
Oh,
movie when she mentioned crows. Like, she's
exactly. Yeah.
serious.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely. That's an
I
absolute
yeah.
opportunity for another viral moment. Release the crows.
I love that David is like, "Okay, we're good. Like,
That's
you can
enough.
move on." Yeah, the fact that she, like,
Oh,
forgets Patrick's last name, but she did know it when she said it earlier. It's not like
yeah,
she
yeah.
forgot it, but it was just the
She's
moment.
flustered. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you're
I
you.
love
I
it.
will say though, Jess, you're a fool for making Will go first. I mean, knowing Will and knowing how he can deliver some sweet lines, like playing
Yeah,
D&D with him, and he plays like sweet characters. He can
yeah.
deliver a sweet line.
He's very good.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
very good. I struggled. I think I'm pretty sure we talked about it after, or maybe it's even included in our vows, the fact that like I originally wrote, I think I mentioned this in my vows. I originally wrote my vows like a year before our wedding because we had
Wow,
already been engaged. Like, you know me, I'm like a preparation queen. I like to be prepared. Then I had to
that's the most
rewrite them all.
type A bullshit ever.
I had to rewrite them all because COVID happened and like my world changed and like I felt very
Mhm.
differently. And yeah, he just came in and like slammed it out of the park with his freaking vows, of course, because that's what he does. And it was so annoying. But yeah, he's too good. You know, he's
What a
like, boom.
bastard! What a
He's
bastard to say
yeah,
really
so
sweet stuff at
sweet,
your
so
wedding.
annoying.
Oh.
Yeah. Ugh. But speaking of, Patrick goes first. And he sings. And he sings Mariah Carey.
It's a little bit cringe, but like it's meant to be, right? It's meant to
Yeah,
be.
it's meant to be a little cringe. I think maybe it goes on like one verse
A
too long.
smidge too.
I think
But
that's where it is.
I think that's what made me think, because if it had been shorter, I'd have been like, "Ooh, that's a bit cringe for me." But the fact that
Mm,
it went on a little bit too longer made me think that it's intentionally cringe and it's meant to be for David, and it's like
yeah,
a nice.
because
It's
David
their
does
way
like
of
the look
poking each
around,
other.
like you're doing this in
Exactly.
front of everyone else.
Exactly. Like, this is like, this is my wedding, like,
Yes,
kind of thing,
yes,
and you're making me feel embarrassed, and it's like it's what it's meant to be.
yeah, yeah,
Their relationship, the way they kind of poke and prod each other, is just sublime. But for to, in one way, make David incredibly embarrassed, but to also sing a freaking Mariah Carey song to him. Oh, it's so
yeah.
adorable.
And to start it off with, you already know I would climb 1,000 mountains for you. Stop, marry me, okay? What are you
Hmm.
doing? Oh,
I
and then
will ask,
Stevie is just
Jess.
sobbing. I can't.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
will ask. Were you okay that Patrick wasn't wearing a blue suit?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. David was wearing his like adorable like
Oh,
kilt. I don't know how else to
can
describe it
we
besides being a
talk about
kilt.
David's outfit? It was
Yeah.
phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
the choice, the asymmetrical like kilt skirt was incredible.
The
The little
suit
touch of
top.
like red, white, and blue that was like on the back of the collar and then also on like the cuffs and everything, I thought really kind of weird. The different socks, even with like the boots, I was like, that's a freaking wedding outfit. I
Yeah.
loved it
Yeah,
so
because
much.
oftentimes like men just wear like a tux or a suit and then that's it,
Yeah,
right? Like they're not really like going out of their way to be peacocking in this way.
yeah, and
And
this
I
isn't a
appreciate
thing
that
to put
David sticks
down.
with his style, you know?
Yeah, and not to put down like people who wear suits, like Patrick was wearing the hell out of his, like look good. But like,
Mhm.
if you're like David and you want to express yourself in a way, express yourself that way and look damn good as you do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
sublime choices. Stevie too, with the suit as well, and the little like the little, I can't think of what they're called, like the little tie rather, or
Oh,
ribbony
it's like the
thing.
Southwestern tie.
Yeah, it's very Colonel
I
Sanders.
forget the name of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's Southwestern. I can't think of the name of it though. But yeah. Yeah, and like her hair being like parted down the middle and like straight, very like
Hmm.
masculine, but like in a very like sexy way. Like a
Oh
very
yeah, yeah,
like Bond kind of like you know. Yeah, I everyone was dressed to the nines. Like that is kind of goes without saying. Everyone looked
yeah.
incredible. But yeah, Patrick sings and we all die because it's beautiful and I love it and he's incredible. And then David has to go. And I I love his vows so much. I'm just gonna read them because they're short and they're adorable. I've never liked a smile as much as I like yours. I've never felt as safe as I do when I'm with you. I've never known love like I have when we're together. It's not been an easy road for me, but knowing that you will always be there for me at the end of it makes everything okay. Patrick Brewer, you are my happy ending. People may not like the happy ending thing. Okay. I get that.
That's
Forget that part.
funny.
This is them. This is their relationship. It always has
Hmm.
been. Like they poke at each other, like you said, like they always have done this. I think it fits. I love I love everything David says here. I think all of these things are so important to a relationship. Smiling, feeling safe, like feeling like that person is your home, that they are who you want to arrive at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what has happened to you during the day. They're who you want to end up with. It is like signs of a secure, healthy relationship. And I absolutely adore it. I love that it's beautiful in its simplicity. And I think that's why I love their vows so much, because they don't go on for like 20 years about how great they,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like short, to the point, and it's beautiful. Again, we only have like 25 minutes. We can't have super long vows.
Exactly. I had a friend here. He got married quite a while ago, and not vows, although their vows again were quite succinct and very beautiful, but like speeches as well. They told everyone, tight 3 minutes, and that's it. That's all you're getting.
Good.
And I mean, my friend who got married works in events and manages them, and they fucking stuck to the schedule. That was a tight 3 minutes,
Incredible.
and it was brilliant, because you don't want people like, you want to get your point across quickly. You want it to be like quick. You don't want to get people like, it's nothing worse than a speech that goes on too long, right?
Especially if it
Oh,
is like filled with inside jokes that literally no one else will
yeah.
understand. Like, play to your audience, people. I've been to so many weddings. Actually, the most recent wedding I went to, my cousins, they did their vows in like a private thing. And then for
Ooh.
the actual ceremony, which I really liked. Well, I like the idea of, obviously I didn't witness them. But I like the idea of like doing the sentimental stuff, just the two of you. And then they
Mm.
did their vows were more of the traditional like, I promise to blah 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 blah,
Blah blah blah. Yeah.
which like I don't care for, but like I like the idea of having the private ones to yourself. And that's like very cute. But yeah, like don't waste everyone's time with inside jokes that go on for too long. The dad at the wedding, like the father of the bride, pages and pages.
Mm.
I remember when my daughter was born. Oh my, start closer to the present day, my
Ooh.
guy.
Yeah.
Start like only a few years back. We don't need to go all the way back,
Open with an anecdote about something embarrassing about them, and then quickly wrap up and say you love them. Job done. Like, get it
Yes.
home. Like, get to the end. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the wedding is adorable.
beautiful.
The wedding is beautiful. It's incredible. They get married. They're pronounced husband and wife. Johnny says Moira did a great
Husband,
job at not
husband.
being too sentimental.
Hmm.
Husband and husband, sorry. Yeah, Johnny compliments Moira. I love this. There's a place for sentimentality. Your son's wedding is not that. I love her. I love her. I don't need my
Commitment to
characters
the
to be
facade.
self-aware. I don't need my characters to be self-aware at all. I in
Hmm.
fact, I think I crave the opposite.
Yeah.
Just don't want them to be. And then we get the next morning, where it's time to say goodbye.
Yeah. So before we get into this, I'm gonna like get this out of the way. This is the thing that I found most jarring, and the one bit I would change is the abruptness of the cut from like the wedding to this scene.
Yeah.
I could have
Like
taken
a
like
montage, maybe?
shave off even 30 seconds to show just a quick montage, or just 1-2 clips of the after party, even if it's in the town hall and it's the venue hasn't changed dramatically, but it's just, party lights or whatever, and them dancing and just everyone together having fun. Just that as a transition would have been lovely, especially to have like moments of everyone dancing together, like David dancing with Ronnie, for example, and like seeing Twyla, and like Twyla maybe still crying from the ceremony or something like silly like that.
Especially because it would kind of parallel nicely, or like full circle the barn of them dancing together.
Yeah,
Like something like that would have been really nice to see. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. I think that is the only thing that I think could have made this feel more perfect for me, is if we
Yeah.
got that celebration of the town, because this was very much a David and Patrick and like the Rose family and the
Yeah.
extended Rose family now. And I kind of just wish we had that one moment. But I also just like their commitment of just being like, right, next morning it's the end. Like, this is just happening. Like, we don't have to have this like very wrapped up in a bow ending kind of thing. Endings can just be abrupt. And
Yeah.
it also, I don't think it's meant to feel like like there is a sense of finality to it. It's a finale, but it's like even in their goodbyes, they're like, "It's not forever. We'll visit you," kind of
Yeah,
thing.
see you
So
soon sort of a thing. Yeah.
exactly.
And I like
So
that
I
it,
forgive it for that.
yeah, because I feel like they do let us linger in the goodbyes. Like we do get to
Hmm.
see every pairing say goodbye to one another, right? We get to see Stevie hug both Moira and Johnny. We get, all of them
Hmm.
get to hug one another. And that's what I'm happy they didn't skimp on that, because I think we've talked a lot about the fact that Moira has been unable to tell her children that she loves them, and that isn't something she routinely did. And she is so generous with her I love yous at this moment, and I love it. And she's
Yeah.
still Moira. She's still like, don't forget about my wigs in the temperature controlled cargo box. Like, she's still
He
Moira.
trusts them with her girls.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so
it's so
adorable.
sweet. I love that. I love, again, Patrick gets a moment with them as well. Like the Johnny having Stevie, room 7, needs to be turned over, like
Oh,
giving her the key. Um I wish they would have retired the key, now that I think about it. Like retired the room number, or retired the little tag. I don't know. Giving it to Johnny. Anyway, um I just I love that they let us sit in this moment, because this is a big deal, and it's a big deal that the family is able to say these words to each other when they definitely could not at the beginning of the show. And even up until now, I would argue, like, Moira doesn't say this sort of stuff very often. And
hmm.
so I'm like pinpointing her specifically, because I do think some of the others have been a little bit more open, but even people like, David's fairly closed off. Johnny's been really the only one who's been very words of affirmation-y over these past couple seasons. But I love that they let us kind of linger in these moments.
Yeah, it was, as much as I say that like the abruptness was a smidge jarring to me. I think had, because I mean we did get a traditional like episode length. This wasn't extended. They didn't do
Yeah.
like an hour-long special like many shows would do. They stuck to the format. They delivered a 14 episode season just like they do, and yeah, the final episode is the same length as always. And so they kind of just took that time that they had carved out by making everything a little abrupt beforehand, and they allowed this final scene to really breathe, which again is part of the brilliance of why the shows worked with the comedy so much, is that all of the jokes kind of have the reaction times of everyone kind of like making cringe faces and reacting to what's actually being said. Like it's very rare that we have like a real tight cut like joke and then cut to another scene and cut back to another scene. It's very much, okay, we're in this scene. We watch it and we let it play out
Yeah.
and it goes to another one. So it's nice to still have that room to breathe. And yeah, to have the goodbyes, which are adorably sweet. The way in which everyone really gets a goodbye with each other. Um, with the fact that like they've all been up all night drinking, that Moira's kind of like mocking them a little bit for it. The sweetness of the liquor that's on Stevie's breath. Alexis wearing like the chunky net over the elegant dress, because I mean it's just the way in which you can just imagine the headcanon of just this wild party that's just gone on, and it's not necessarily because of its
Mhm.
being wild, it's because they just want to celebrate and they enjoy each other's company like that for so much.
Yeah.
So that was just incredibly lovely. But yeah, they say their goodbyes and it's get to the end, and it's really sad.
Yeah.
I would say though, I didn't pick up on the when Moira said it at the beginning when about Roland's present and him not delivering it.
Mhm.
I was like, oh, is that all we're gonna get from Roland at the end? Oh, all right. His last legacy thing is disappointing them without a present. Great, and that was the
Yeah.
last mention I thought. So it was good to have that swerve.
Yeah, the sign at the end is incredible. It's really bringing us full circle from the beginning of the show, with
Hmm.
David and Alexis in the background and Moira holding Johnny up. It's incredible. I love that sign. I think it's so funny. It's so funny. It is one of the first laugh out loud moments of the show. And so to have
Hmm.
it just come back around is just it's so great. And that's the show. And it's like, They really did stick the landing. It's so hard to watch them all say goodbye, but like you said, you get the vibe that it's like a bye for now. We'll
Yeah.
visit. I love Johnny reminding Roland, like, my son lives here. Like, I'm still gonna be back here, and Roland being like, no, you could die any minute. Like, you never know. uh, so, which I love that Johnny kind of like laughs and smiles at that. Like, he's like very much like charmed by Roland now, at least a little bit more than he used
I mean,
to be.
he goes along with the joke. Well, not really the joke. The comment about how they look like they're gonna get married.
Yes,
When they're
yeah.
walking up the
He's
aisle,
like, yeah,
and Johnny's
they
like,
do.
yeah. I
They
think he kind of
do,
gets that. Roland's little jibes aren't necessarily vicious. They're just,
they're love.
he just comments. Yeah.
And that's our episode.
Wow.
Yeah,
We're here.
that's it. Okay, let's not linger in this too long. Let's go into feedback, because we do
Yes.
have some feedback to talk through. We
bit.
got some really lovely emails. We got an email from Joanna. If it's Joanna, I'm really sorry, but I think it's Joanna, right? Okay. Email from Joanna. Joanna. I think it's Joanna. I need to stop.
Joanna?
The more I say it, it sounds weird to me. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Hi, Jess. Hi, Stuart. I can't believe I just finished your penultimate podcast episode. I remember sitting there at the beginning of the year, calculating how long we have left, and October seemed ages away. Joanna, you're not alone in that. So I had the need to send you an email again and say thank you for keeping us frequently entertained throughout the last months. I'm already excited with what you'll be up to next, because otherwise, tell me how to live without you week after week. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's adorable.
On a personal note, I would follow Olivia's recommendation from last episode for you two to cover The Good Place next. This gives me a chance for another rewatch. Meanwhile, I keep myself busy with another rewatch of Schitt's Creek. Thinking of you. The warmest regards and all the best wishes, Joanna from Germany.
That's adorable. Yeah, we got something cooking. I mean, I will say it's not necessarily a good place. But we got a project in the works, which will hopefully be dropping fairly soon.
Although I wouldn't cross the Good Place off the list of potential things in the future, because I do want to rewatch that show. I think I've only seen it fully through one time, but I definitely
same when it was airing.
Yeah. Because I think I hopped on board fairly early. In that show.
Also, I mean, good to get back on the Jason Mantzoukas energy after Taskmaster. Like,
I love him so much. Maximum Derek. Oh, I love him so much. Yeah. But we do have something in the works, and there will be an announcement soon. So
yes,
stay tuned for that.
We are yet to record a trailer for it. But we're
going to soon. Once I am back home. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll probably be like, where the frick are you? I'm not home currently. That's how dedicated I am to you. I was like, I'm not taking a week off. When we're this close to the end, I'm going to record from where I'm going to be.
Can we acknowledge this as well? I mean, pending obviously some absolute disaster happening with the file, and I'm touching wood right now, making sure
touch
that
all
I
of
do
the
not
wood.
curse us. Yeah, I mean, different happy ending.
Yeah.
But we have uploaded once a week, every week, for a whole series. Yeah, we got some like wrap ups and stuff done, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, we did all the episodes.
We didn't
skip a single week, which I'm very proud of. Very proud of.
It's consistency.
Everyone can say they do that.
We're type A, baby. That's what you get when two type A's podcast. Exactly. Oh gosh.
Did we forget to upload? Sometimes, maybe.
Only a few times.
We got that.
Usually just one of us, though. Usually the other one always caught it.
We corrected it by within a couple of hours.
A couple hours, that's fine. We also have a question from Emily. Where do you think each Rose and any other characters you want to include will be in 10 years after the events of the finale? That's a long time. 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be looking at so that means Patrick and David will have been married for 10 years.
Oh my god, kids?
No.
I can maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, because I wouldn't have changed that mindset maybe.
I don't think so.
Maybe not kids.
I think maybe David has allowed a pet. Maybe he's allowed a pet.
That's the energy I'm thinking. I'm thinking they need Patrick needs a dog.
Patrick needs a companion. I think it takes a long time for him to convince David, but I think he gets they probably rescue a dog because, responsible breeding. I could go on a whole diatribe about that. But I think he finds like a little bougie ass dog that is
Yeah.
like black and
Some
white.
s I'm thinking like some celebrity influenced almost dog. Like,
Yes.
you know, like the Obama's Labradoodle that's hypoallergenic kind of thing. Like some
Something that doesn't
virtuous
shed a
thing.
ton. I think it's
Mhm.
black and white. I do think he buys it like a blinged out collar, and that's what gets
Oh,
David
yeah.
on board is he's like, "Oh my god, I can treat this dog like an accessory. Okay, perfect."
Yeah, I can absolutely see that being the case.
Maybe they open their own dog like line of dog items.
Yes, absolutely, and that's like just yet another expansion of the
Yes.
brand. I reckon that they would have popped up here, there, and everywhere. Maybe it wouldn't be
Yeah.
like a huge thing. I don't want to just assume the best for everyone. But I don't think for them that would be the best. I think that like
Yeah.
small localized growth would be good, but a
Yeah.
couple of other branches maybe.
Yeah, and on that same line of thing, because I was thinking the same thing as you. It's like, yes, we love to think only good things will happen to our characters, but I don't. Yeah, it's not really true. I think the person that may struggle a bit more is Alexis in terms of she moves to New York. I think she struggles a little bit with finding her footing, finding her friend group, not getting
Hmm.
pulled back into kind of like that vain, vapid sort of a. And she's not in LA, which is usually the one that stereotypically is known for that sort of
Yeah.
thing, but New York has those people too. And I think she struggles a little bit at first, but I do think she eventually finds her footing and like finds a little bit of success. But I wouldn't be surprised if she inevitably finds herself on the West Coast because maybe LA is a little bit better and maybe she uses a little bit of Moira's connections. But in my heart of hearts, I really do hope her and Ted reconnect at some point.
Yeah, I can see her having like maybe a somewhat long term relationship. I don't know why I've had kind of in my mind that she goes into PR for like Broadway people and like maybe like something like
Ooh.
that, and ends up with like a
Ooh.
Broadway boyfriend, and they like shack up for quite a
Ooh.
while. You know, like
Interesting.
some fit dancer or something. And
Mm.
then maybe that doesn't fall through. Maybe she moves back to like the West Coast, and just from then, I don't know, Ted gets stationed at or it's flying through LAX on yet another like overseas adventure to some other
Yeah.
place, and they cross paths, and then they meet up again, and they get together. Yes, yes,
Yes! Make it happen.
yes.
I think her reboot is very successful. I think she gets a lot more work as a result because she's so iconic and such an
She
individual.
she gets an Emmy. I'm saying that she gets an Emmy for
Yeah.
limited series, like best actress or something. I don't know what the categories
And
are.
I do think she inevitably puts out an album, like a Christmas album, and includes the
Oh,
Jazz Gals on it.
oh yes, that would be incredible. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I think
And
that's
yeah,
best.
Moira
Yeah.
Rose and the Jazz Gals.
I think so. And
Hmm.
I think for Johnny, I think the business works out. Like I think they have a really
Yeah.
good idea. I think him and Stevie find a lot of success. I think he travels back to Schitt's Creek often, probably more often than any of the others do besides obviously David and Patrick who live there. And yeah, I think they really hit it off. I think Stevie and him have a really great business relationship and partnership. And I think Stevie finds a lot of success, but also more importantly, like a comfort and like joy in what she's doing, which I don't think she
Hmm.
always had.
Yeah.
So I think she does find that.
Especially probably with not being hands on in the actual day to day running of the motel. Like, and maybe they
Yeah.
get like another couple of hands to help out in there, and Stevie's actually, you know, does what she's meant to be
Yes.
doing in her kind of like actual role as a bit of a semi exec that's going around to all the other ones and setting them up and things. But yeah, I love the idea of them returning back and Johnny at least like paying everyone a visit and things and seeing them kind of on the regs.
Yeah.
I think also maybe I don't know. I can see the roses. Johnny's urging and maybe Maury kind of getting dragged along, but to like Roland and Jocelyn's annual barbecue thing that they have,
Yeah.
I can see them doing
Yeah.
that, and
Always
I
making
think
the
that would
trip
be
back.
incredibly sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. I can also randomly see like Twyla becoming mayor or something later on. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you
just
kind
can
of. I mean,
see it.
she's a business owner in the area. She'll have to attend those
Yeah.
like the business functions that like they're arranging when Moira was running for town council, town councillor. that Ronnie organized. I think Twyla can start attending some of those kind of events and get involved with the town kind of like running of it and having more of a
Yeah,
say. And yeah, maybe she takes up Moira's position
I think
eventually.
so.
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, and I think I can totally see Jocelyn arranging like watch along parties for all of like Moira's episodes of TV and like inviting
Hmm.
Ronnie and like all the Jazza gals and like just the town. Like maybe they gather in like town hall and like put it on a projector or something. Like I could see them making a big meal of watching Moira on TV again.
Yeah, and maybe like Moira makes the odd appearance at like a certain concert for the Jazz Gals.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's
I would
just
love that. Yeah.
outraged at the fact that she's not been billed like on the headline for it.
Yes.
But yeah.
Speaking of like the future of these characters, Josiah wants to know: are we pro or anti the idea of Anda movieing these 6 seasons, aka Community's 6 seasons and a movie? If one came out in the next few years, what would you like it to be about? And for those of you who don't know, show Community, they promised us a movie. I'm still waiting on it, but they did promise us a movie, and that will make it 6 seasons and a movie. So, Stuart, are you pro or anti?
I I would love a movie, but I don't think it would be good. I would love
Yeah,
a movie purely because I want more content, but I think I should be left wanting more content. I think this is the right place
interesting.
to end it for me. I
I
think
think I want
if
a
we were to
reunion more than I want a movie.
yeah,
And there is a
I can see
difference.
that. Yeah, I certainly can subscribe to that more than anything else because I just think what story is there to tell beyond this? Like, yeah, I'd love to know how where these characters end up, but I can't imagine these characters would end up any other place that's not, happy. I don't want to imagine them to go
Yeah,
through strife or to go through hardship to have a story that's going to like kind of relate to a movie. I'm content with where they've got to.
yeah,
Um, and so I feel like it'd be really engineered for there to be a movie. But does that stop me from wanting more content? No. Um,
yeah. I think
yeah.
ironically enough, I think this is a show that like, do you remember during COVID when like everyone was sad? And so a lot of shows were like, let's do a script read, let's do a reunion over Zoom, like let's get together.
Mhm.
This show would have been one of the ones to do it. Of course, they were finishing their show in 2020, so it
Yeah.
didn't make sense. But this feels like that sort of a thing where I would love to just see the actors all together again, like chatting about the show, reminiscing about it. I don't
Mhm.
necessarily need to see these characters coming back. If they did, I'd of course watch it, but I think I would be angling more for a reunion than a full-on movie.
Yeah.
It's only
May
been 5 years since the show ended, so like I could be feeling differently in another 5, 10.
yeah, maybe a Christmas special. I can see that
Merry Christmas,
because
Johnny Rose.
I
Yes,
think
yes, yes, yes.
yeah, like a second version of that. Like I don't know, and it's like they all go to a log cabin to get away from things. They get snowed in, hilarity ensues, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But it's just them, one set, really easy to film because I mean, time's going to be the most pressing thing for them, I'm sure. But yeah, I think a movie might just be pushing it a bit too much.
yeah. I feel like a
'Cause
Brady
I feel
Bunch
like it's
movie where it's like,
engineering.
what are we doing? What are we doing
Yeah.
here? You know?
And
Yeah,
then because inevitably you get into like once you get the movie, oh, let's have a second movie, let's have a third movie, and then it just
yeah.
draws out and
Luckily, all of these people are very successful and busy, so they have a lot going on.
booked and
You
blessed.
know? Yeah. Okay, well, let's do some ratings here. I think we
Hmm.
decided we're gonna do the same structure as last time, right? Where we get to give 3, 2, 1.
Well, I just looked at the document and saw that, and I was like, someone copied the template from last week because I don't remember discussing this, Chad. But
I remember thinking it in my head. I maybe just didn't say it aloud.
I think we
Because how are we
absolutely
gonna just give only
should.
how are we gonna give just one?
Yeah.
That's not
Okay. Fair.
allowed.
I,
It's not
I will have
allowed.
to scramble a bit because I haven't really thought about this at all, let
I mean, we
alone
didn't think about it
three.
last time before we did it, so that was
I know, but I
fine.
thought about at least one person for last time. I've not even considered this for this episode. This is
Yeah.
really bad prep on my part as a
I think I
podcaster.
know my 3 people, and it's just slotting them accordingly,
Hmm.
you know? Um, but it's tricksy because it's only 3, so you're, like, obviously
Yeah.
excluding a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I think I've got some. Yeah. I'm just gonna go with
okay.
my gut.
Okay.
Gut feel.
Do you wanna do your 1 pointer first?
Oh, one pointer first.
Yeah,
Yes.
build it up.
Do I want to go first though? No.
Okay, I will go first. Okay, so I think it's tough to do the 1 point person. But I do think I think I'm gonna give it to Johnny. I think the scrambling he does for the wedding, he's doing a lot. And on top of that, the speech that he gives to the town about everything they did for the family, his moment with Stevie, walking, with her down the aisle. He does a lot of lovely things. There's just other people who I think I want to reward a little bit more. But shout out to Johnny for like doing so, so, so much for his family this entire series and really like putting a bow on it in this episode. So 1 point for me goes to Johnny.
It seemed like I'm just agreeing, but yeah, I literally have just written down my contenders because I didn't really have a ranking of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Johnny for one as well. Exactly the same reasons. I think that he delivers such a lovely little speech to the whole town. I think that was something that was sorely needed. Because I think like Schitt's Creek itself needs to be appreciated, and I kind of wish it was a little bit more like with my kind of like want for that party scene at the end. But I thought that was. I'm glad that happened, and of course Johnny was the one to deliver it. And Johnny had some really sweet moments, like yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you want to give out your 2 pointer or you want me to go?
I'll go 2 pointers, so it doesn't seem like I'm copying just in case. I'm going to give my 2 pointers to Patrick.
Okay.
Because he found out that his husband-to-be had a happy ending and still went on with it. Realized his mistake in the whole process, admitted to it. Also, just for the delivery of like how some people of us was it so oh god, I'm gonna lose it. When he's like describing it. Oh god, I've lost it now. But like I can see how some people would interpret that the wrong way. Of a certain kind, I think. He was very kind of like a little judgy, but it made me laugh. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Patrick because he made me chuckle and also was just a great guy for going along with it in such a way. And yeah, to make David cringe as well, the vows.
This is so tough. I am also going to do Patrick. That was who I had
Stop copying me.
I know. For most of the reasons you said, also because I think he's so gracious and helpful, and like he just wants David to be calm, and he's willing to do anything to do that, right? Like he's going above and beyond for David always, but especially this episode. And of course he sings his vows, which is like so supremely sweet. So yeah, Patrick, I think they just have a really great episode, but and David is also lovely. It's like a struggle. But I do think Patrick handles things very well. So yeah, Patrick for 2 points. And then 3 points. 3 points. I'm giving mine to Moira. I think like the speech, the fact that she gives so many like I love yous, the fact that she can't even make it through the speech without crying, the look, obviously that's like worthy of 3 points all on its own. I just think she has a really stellar episode, and the conversation with Alexis, like there's so many things to point to for Moira. This really just feels like the final point, the period at the end of the sentence in terms of Moira's journey and Moira's growth arc. So Moira for 3 points from me.
I mean Moira's had a stellar episode. Unfortunately, I'm not giving her any points, which
that's fine. I gave her some.
I'm going to take this opportunity to laud even more points upon Alexis, which I don't think is that surprising considering. I mean, I think it's abundantly clear. Alexis is my favorite character in this show. She has had such a growth journey, and I thought the last episode was really a celebration of Alexis, and in this one she isn't the point of celebration, but still she's such a great supporting character that acknowledges how they've grown as a family. She's the one that really set me off at the beginning. Now, should I be giving someone that wears white to someone else's wedding, especially, or actually not just wearing white, wears a wedding dress to someone else's wedding.
And she's
Should
in
I
the
be
wedding. She's in the wedding.
She's in the wedding. She walks down the aisle in a wedding dress.
That is what excluded her from my my
Should
points
I be
immediately.
rewarding that? No. But then, if we talk about pulling focus at someone else's wedding, look at Moira's outfit. We can't judge this family on that metric. I mean, we just can't do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like she's given a pass for me for that. And yeah, I think it's just also the hug that her and Johnny have at the end. And when they like say I love you, I really felt it. Like I really felt like it's that they weren't acting in that moment, and it really got me. And it's kind of getting me a bit now, so I'm going to get away from it so I don't cry on a podcast. But yeah, it's supremely sweet and delightful. I love them so much.
Yeah, I excluded her immediately for wearing white in a wedding. But I get it. And here's the thing: I could not give David any points. I wanted to. I fear the wrath that I will suffer in my own house. Because of the happy ending storyline, but also I just think there are other people I think that are probably a little bit more deserving. And I don't want to give out a disgruntled pelican point because I don't want to. No one deserves one. And if anybody was going to get one, it would have been Alexis for wearing white to a wedding.
Actually, I would have given mine to Roland because as much as Roland came up with like a good idea for the town hall, he was like talking with his mouth full so much this episode again. And I can never forgive it.
I love it every time. I feel like I've tuned it out now because I just don't even like notice it as much anymore. Because I just assume his mouth is full anytime he's talking.
It's just it's horrendous.
It's a lot. Well, it's a celebration of a wedding. I don't want to have to give anyone.
Plus, as down as I am on Roland, he did the thing with the sign at the end. Completely forgiven. So if anything, puts him in the candidacy for MVP.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Well, let's talk some wigs because we have another wig we have to talk about, which is the very first wig we see. Moira looks unhinged in the screen grab I got of her. Imagine waking up to this. It's like actually speaking of the Brady Bunch, it's kind of giving Mrs. Brady. But add in some like color. Add in color.
I was gonna say, like this is I think this is a full-on MySpace like kind of emo wig.
But it needs a little bit more of a bang covering the eye.
If it had more of the swoosh, maybe. Yeah. But like the colors in it alone, like she's absolutely underneath that, just two like Apple earpods and Skater Boys in those ears. Like I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, it's a cute look though. It's cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we've already talked through the main entree.
But it's nothing compared to the main
main dish, the main course. It's incredible. Moira, I love you so much. I'm gonna miss talking about your outfits every week and your incredible wigs. All right, Stuart, we've got to tier rank this one. We've got to do it. I mean, I'm curious to know, is it at the tippity top for you?
It's really tough because I was so high on last week's episode. I think last week's episode was almost a perfect episode of TV. So was this. I think it's really neck and neck. And I think the only thing that might edge this out a little bit more is the fact that it's the finale. And you have to give it some weight because of that. And I think that in sticking the landing, that's such a feat that I think that it does get extra points just for that alone. And so for that reason, I think it might just edge out ahead for me.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to think what you think.
I was going to put it at the tippy top. I think that the callbacks are really important, right? Like the way you end a show is so important, and the fact that they stuck the landing, the fact that they had so many great callbacks, so many like full circle moments, and just all of these really just proof of the growth with these characters, for me, I think edges it out at the tippity top spot. But I think I think you're right in that it's a finale, so it kind of has the edge to begin with. So I think it's tough to overcome that. But I'm gonna just go.
Top it goes. Just swallow it.
Move thing. Oh, there we go. I got it. I'm not on my normal computer. I apologize. It's
a tough time. that's like 7 in Hot Shit.
7 in Hot Shit, 2 in Full Bouquet,
Wow.
and 5 in Love That Journey for me.
Strong season.
Yeah.
I'm outraged that I can't say that our guests and listeners that have been saying it gets better and better were liars. I thought I was going to at the beginning of the season, not going to lie. I was like, you'll have been gaslighting the fuck out of me. But no, it's absolutely turned around, and I think ended in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way.
Yeah.
So glad of that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But of course, this isn't the end of us. This isn't the end of the podcast. We're going to be back next week because we're going to talk about the special. So if you don't know, if you haven't watched, there is a special that aired after the show called Best Wishes, Warmest Regards, A Schitt's Creek Farewell. So we're going to cover that next week, and then we'll be back the week after to talk through the full series, everything, all of our thoughts on the series as a whole. If you have any feedback, definitely that would be the week to send it in. Anything you want to say about the show, about the podcast, about anything like that, that will be the week to do it. And we'll wrap things up and announce what the heck we have going on next. So exciting stuff.
Yeah. I teased it last week about getting some commentary. Or at least an appearance from a cast member. I think we're gonna hold on to it until that episode, maybe.
Oh, I love that.
We've gotten a fair bit already. Like we're
we're an hour and a half in.
An hour and a half. And I think also like let's round it out with a little appearance at the end. So yeah, I'm gonna keep you all lingering on for another couple of weeks. Suck
Incredible.
it. Deal with it.
Awesome.
You'll get your happy ending eventually.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Oh my god. Well, that about wraps us up then. So next week we'll be back with the Schitt's Creek special. And until then, everyone, warmest regards.
And best wishes.